So, what happens when someone evolves so far they're not even made of flesh and bone anymore? Today, we're jumping into this incredible parable about transformation. It's really a journey into what it means to take our deepest, most ancient past and smash it together with our most far flung future to become something totally new.
Our story kind of starts at the end with this line: He had ceased to be a man of flesh and became a living vibration. I mean, wow. That isn't just a small change. It's a complete rewrite of the rules of what it means to be. This sets a pretty radical goal for our journey. The real question is, how on earth do you get there?
All right, Act 1, the final metamorphosis. This is where we get to see the self we know just completely dissolve to make room for something that doesn't even fit into our usual categories.
Okay, so the Jester's dance hits his absolute fever pitch. His whole form, the red and blue diamonds, it literally dissolves. It becomes pure energy, just vibrating between pure light and absolute shadow. And by doing that, he breaks free from the gravity of human morality itself.
So, what in the world do we call this new state of being? Well, the source gives it a name: a transhuman spirit. And this image here just perfectly captures it. It's not about being a god, it's not about being a demon, it's about living in that razor-thin space right between creation and destruction, holding both possibilities at the exact same time. And get this transformation isn't just some internal personal thing. Nope. It has cosmic consequences. The Jester's breath, which is now like this violet smoke, mixes with starlight and creates a vortex. And what does this vortex do? It starts pulling the entire hidden history of the world around him right into the present moment. It's fundamentally reshaping reality itself. And that, of course, brings us to our next phase, the summoned wild. You see, this whole metamorphosis, it doesn't just create some new future. It awakens something ancient, something we could call the prehistoric soul. And that is the billion-dollar question, isn't it? As the Jester pulls all of time into this one single moment, what is going to crawl out from the depths of history? This isn't just a thought experiment. Something is physically about to appear. And there's our answer. Right out of the swirling chaos of the dance, a brand new figure shows up, the ancient specter. Draped in wolf skin, he is the living embodiment of something raw, something primal, and completely untamed. So, who is this wild man? He's definitely not a villain. He's primordial vitality, that pure life force that existed long before civilization. He's pure instinct, totally free from the weight of guilt. The source even calls him the biological ancestor of the shadow, which basically means he's that deep, untamed, instinctual part of all of us. And he's only governed by one law, the law of strength and struggle. Now, to really get why he's so important, this slide gives us a fantastic contrast. On one side, you've got the wild man's raw, instinctual power. On the other side, a figure the source calls the last man, a symbol for a society that's just grown apathetic and weak from way too much comfort. The appearance of the wild man is like a powerful antidote to that kind of spiritual rot. And this all leads us to the big show, the pivotal second act, the union of opposites. This is the grand reckoning, where this hyper-evolved spirit has to finally turn around and face its own primal past. And this right here, this is the absolute core of the whole thing. The final test for our Jester isn't to defeat or destroy this primal force. It's about integration. He has to accept and merge with the beast that lives under the philosopher's robes, that raw power that actually fuels all the higher thinking. And here it is, the moment of contact. The Jester, now just a being of light and shadow, reaches out and touches the wolfskin. He doesn't flinch. Instead, he feels this electric jolt of ancestral power, a deep recognition that this energy is a fundamental piece of who he is. And in that single touch, there's this profound realization. The Jester's super sophisticated futuristic dance and the wild man's primal ancient prowling, they're not opposites. They are, as the source so beautifully puts it, the exact same movement just viewed from different ends of time. This union gets a name, and it's a great one: star friendship. What a fantastic concept, right? It's the harmonious integration of everything, the highest peak of intellectual evolution, and the deepest, most instinctual root of our being, all coming together in perfect, beautiful balance. So what's the result of this star friendship? Well, we're now entering the final synthesis, absolute becoming.
This is the creation of a completely new kind of existence. The source gives us this incredible metaphor for how they fuse. The jester's shimmering light and the wild man's dark fur don't just sit next to each other. They weave themselves together into a single new garment, a garment of absolute becoming. He's not one or the other anymore. He's the synthesis of both. So, what are the qualities of this new sovereign being? Well, as you can see here, he is both the ancient one and the future one at the same time. He's moved way beyond needing any external laws because he contains all the extremes of existence inside himself. And, crucially, he's integrated that primal wildness to be the eternal fuel for his existence. And now for the final act of our parable, the descending storm. What does this new being mean for the rest of the world? Because you see, he's about to come down from that mountain. But before he descends, we get this final, powerful summary of what he is now. He isn't just one thing. He's the sun, that brilliant, creative force. He's the wolf, the primal, instinctual power. And he's the void, that space of infinite potential. He contains the whole shebang. And this might be the most critical piece of the whole story. He is not coming back to preach or give a TED Talk. His return is described as a natural event. He's going to be a storm of twilight, an unstoppable force that will fundamentally and irrevocably change the landscape of the human spirit just by being there. And so this whole parable leaves us with a question for ourselves. The jester had to integrate his most ancient, primal self to become whole. And so it asks us to look inward and really think, what wild, untamed part of our own history, our own nature, do we need to confront and integrate to fundamentally change our own landscape?